everyone and welcome back at Betting This For You TV. In this video today we're going to spend some time to understand what is the best betting strategy based on our experience and also what are the risks and the pro and cons of every strategy that you can adopt. Of course, make sure you subscribe to our channel and also make sure that you have the notification enabled so that you can see all the videos that we are producing, both in terms of strategy, but also the tipping videos that we produce around the events where our experts are giving out the tips. In this video, I will go through what is the fundamental strategy that we use here at Betting This For You TV, and also give you some information in terms of what is tend to work and what is not. So to start immediately, what we can say is that here at Betting This For You TV, we have tried a lot of different strategies, betting strategies over the years. As you can imagine, we have our website bettingthisforyou.com has been around since 2013, and since then we've delivered tips over tips, and even before that, our experts were involved either on the bookmaker side or as professional bettors. So they have extensive experience, have tried everything and have done everything really in the betting industry. So that's the reason why we are able now we're in, of course, in 2021 to give you, at the end of 2021, to give you some information in terms of what we tried and didn't work and what we can see that actually is working very well. And as you would expect, as it normally happens, things that looks more simple are the things that tend to work better. And I will get through this example in a very short time. So the strategy that we use here at Betting This For You TV, and you will be familiar to it if you have seen some of our video, is very simple but very efficient as well, as it's called single for profit and multiple for fun. So the reason is that the single bet, it's used by our expert in every betting day to try to achieve the profit, whatever happened with the other bet, which is a bet that is done on the multiple. So the single bet has a chance of landing which is significantly higher than a multiple, and that's the reason why we're doing it. Of course, on the other hand, you have to put a little bit more money because the payout, the odds are lower when you do a single bet, but the chances of winning are higher. So if we are good and we really are very effective in selecting the bet of the day, as we call it, then we have a very good chance of landing that bet. And then what we want to do, we use the multiple to try to make that profit more interesting. So even if we get a profit of 1 or 2 units, let's say, for example, we get a bet of the day that lands, and then we do a multiple bet that doesn't land, so we lose the multiple bet. The important thing here is to make sure that if we consider all the costs, the bet of the day will be actually, the return will be higher than the cost of paying the multiple. So let's say, for example, we're betting £5 at the odds of 2. So if we win, we get back £5 as a profit. And let's say we do a multiple and we back that multiple, that maybe return 4 times the money, we back it with £4. So if we lose the multiple but we win the bet of the day, we have made £1 profit. And that's very good, because over time, if we are very efficient in landing our bet of the days, we are able to turn this as a profit. As sometimes it's more difficult than landing a bet of the day, but sometimes we will have the multiple that comes in, and that when that happens, our profit considerably go up. Of course, we're not going to be able to win all the bet of the day, so there will be times where we lose both the multiple or the bet of the day. So, this is part of the betting and the gambling. We have no guarantees, but it's a game, it's a mad game. So if we are good enough to win the bet of the day most of the time, and of course we land sometimes some multiples so that we cover up those days where the bet of the day doesn't land, we end up in profit. And as you can see in the table now, our experts are all in profit in our tips, the challenge. And the way we count the results, you see each expert as a point associated to him. And the way they acquire points is basically if they lose both the bet of the day and the multiple on a single betting day, they get 2-point penalty. But then if they win the bets, depending on how much the odds are, they get assigned points. So if they are in profit with the points, that means that they are in profit as well in the normal profit and loss in their account. So the strategy is working, and that's what we've been doing for a long time. This year we've been making sure that people understand better the way we work here, because it's a very simple concept and you can do it for yourself. I mean, you don't have to necessarily follow our tips, and sometimes we also get it wrong, but you can get some inspiration from by watching our videos. But most importantly, you need to remember that landing the bet of the day will be always much easier than landing the multiple. And if you just bet on the multiples, it's very likely that you will end up, unless you have some very good luck, it's very likely you will end up in negative and profit territory. And that's the reason, especially longer term, and that's the reason why bookmakers are tempting you to put more money towards the multiple bets instead of the bet of the day, or the single bet, as you want to call it. So statistically, if you also every selection that you add to the multiple increase the gap and the margin that the bookmaker have in terms of statistic for you, so over time, if you always bet, let's say like a 4-fold or 5-fold, and you don't think about betting on the bet of the day, cover you up yourself, you will end up in a situation where the bookmaker have a huge margin statistically over yourself, and it's very unlikely that you will be able to come up on top in the long term. Of course, you can win 1 or 2 multiple and be in profit for a while, but over time, the maths tell us that you're not going to end up in profit. While if you manage your bankroll, of course, that's very important, and you have a very effective strategy on the single bets, and that's where the difficulty is, of course, is picking the right single bets, and that's where probably, that's where we make the difference between being profitable and not profitable. And this is where our experts are working very, very hard to try to make sure that we get the bet of the day correct. Because if we do that, then the multiple become more fun, because then we can watch the multiple and see, okay, well, let's see how it happens here. We can increase the profit. But if things goes wrong and let's say one selection really doesn't come in, we at least manage to make a profit anyway. So the way also we select the multiple, so although we leave up to our expert the possibility to select how many multiples they want, how big they want, they never go more than 3 selections, because as I said before, it's a statistical game. So the more selection you put in, and understand it's very, very nice to see that you maybe put the risk £1 and you can win, I don't know, maybe £500, £600. That's very nice to see, and sometimes you can do it, of course. But if you're looking for a winning strategy, for a strategy that can actually work for you in the long run, you don't want to do that. And what you want to do is, but multiples are fun, and of course we like it as well. That's why we call it multiple for fun, because, and you can also win with the multiples, but you need to be very selective, and you cannot go too much increase too much the number of selection that you have. So we normally have doubles or trebles, and you can see that in our videos. And if you look around, you can see that basically the number of doubles that wins is higher than the number of trebles that wins, if you look in our videos as well. So, and that's again, is like statistical reason, but still with a double or treble, you can maybe make 3 times the money, 4 times the money. Sometimes we even push it to 5, 6, 8 times the money, and sometimes we get those as well. But the concept here to take is that you need a solid strategy that works for you in the long run. And the way to do it is, of course, bet of the day that has to be as precise as possible, and then the multiple that should be good as well. But with the multiples, it's always difficult to understand precisely if that is going to come in or not, because the risk is always implied by the number of selection that you put. Even with 2 selection, you have a much higher risk than just trying to land a single bet. So another thing that I want to say as well is, how do you pick the bet of the day, and what odds the bet of the day has to be? So of course, if you place a bet of the day that has odds of around 8 or 9 or 10, then this strategy doesn't really work, because again, you're going to try to land a better day. There should be the bet that you are more comfortable with, with an outcome that is very unlikely to happen, because that's why the odds are so high. So the most important thing that you want to do is to select a bet of the day that normally is in the range of 170 to 2, especially when you start with a strategy. So you want a solid strategy that allows you to build a bankroll and to make sure that you get to a solid position where you are in nice profit. At that point, we also do it ourselves. You can try to increase the odds of the bet of the day. You can take a little bit more risk, because at that point you will be in profit, trying to get something more out of the bookmakers. And you can do by increasing the bet of the day. Maybe you were doing 170, then you do 2, then you do 2.5, but shouldn't be always too high. Sometimes you can do a little bit higher, but sometimes you want to go a little bit down again, depending on the events as well. Of course, the selection of the event is very important, but also what I'm saying is that you can be a little bit more aggressive when you have started to build your bankroll. But at the beginning, you should start with a bet of the day that's in between 170 and 2. And if you look back at our videos that we've done this season, you will see that all our experts have started to build a bankroll with a bet of the day that is 170 to 2. And now some of them that are in better position, like myself, they are actually increasing some days the bet of the day even to 2.5, and even sometimes even to 3, but mostly 2.5, because we are in a situation where we can take a little bit more risk. Of course, if things doesn't go our way, then we can step back immediately, and we are still in profit, and we start to reduce the bet of the day again. So that's the way it should work. In terms of the multiple, as I said before, again, if you are in a good positive profit, you can risk a little bit more. Maybe you can do a treble, or maybe you can do a double with a goal scorer to try to get to maybe 5 or 6 or 7. But if you are at the beginning, you should start with multiples that are normally double, with the selection, with the odds that are around 3, I would say. 2, even don't be ashamed to even go down to 2.5 in the double, because you want to build a bankroll at the beginning. So that's our strategy. Is called, as I said before, a single for profit and multiple for fun, because we use the single to build up the profit, and we use the multiples to have fun. Of course, they are big fun, but also to have those peaks where we can get some good profits and cover up those days where the bet of the day doesn't land. So that's the way that it works with us. Of course, you will see, I will reiterate it, and our expert will also reiterate it in their videos, but this is the best strategy that we have used. Of course, is subject to having some experience in terms of understanding how to select a better day and how to select a multiple. And hopefully by looking at our video, you will see what our experts are predicting for the way that our experts are going about, because we always provide also the rationale. We're not just saying we pick up this bet of the day and that's it. We always explain the reason why we are picking up that bet of the day. So that should actually help you out in your own time to actually start to analyze better the events that are during the day, because eventually that's where you're going to make your money. So that's all for this video. Of course, we will do other videos in terms of strategies and look at the other markets, how we select the different markets. Should we go for a home draw away? Should we go mostly for a goal scorer? Should we go mostly for under over? We will go into more details in further videos, in future videos about our strategy. But now you get the basis, and now you can understand, after seeing this video, how it works and why we're doing what we're doing, and how we managed to get the profit that we have so far. So I hope that's been useful. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, and also please put a like, as that will allow us to deliver more and more videos for you with tips, with betting strategies, and so on. And ultimately, we are here to win more bets and to help you to win more bets, and all together by sharing our experiences and going through the times and learning from mistakes, we can find an edge. We want to find an edge against bookmakers, and that's our aim. So make sure you also hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we publish a new video with tips or with strategies. and make sure you follow our channel, and we will see you very, very soon. One thing I want to say: whatever strategy you use, always remember to gamble responsibly. Never ever risk money that you cannot risk. Always bet with the money that you can afford to lose. So that's all for today. Thank you very much. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye now.